Hey, what's up guys, it is I, Ace180, here to bring you another video. Today, we will be talking about the infamous H3H3. H3H3 has a channel that started April 7, 2017, made by Ethan and Gila Klein. The first video was made on the same day the channel's existence being a podcast, which is what he focuses on more nowadays. Now, his actual first channel was made on April 29, 2011, and that channel's first video was made on March 13, 2013, called Wiping. He started gaining traction after making fun of things that he saw as absurd. There are a handful of things to get into here, so let's just hop right into it. Alright, so there was a time where H3H3 and PewDiePie were decent friends. So in the early days of PewDiePie, he ended up having racist things being said for $5, which were anti-Jewish. But after a whole bunch of news outlets tried to end his career, H3H3 came in to defend PewDiePie.
That is fucking hilarious, guys, okay? It's a joke. He's not serious. There's a big difference, guys. Context matters. As a Jewish person, I'm not offended. And this is the problem with this manufactured outrage. People getting offended for people who are not offended. You don't need to get outraged on my behalf, okay? Hitler standing on a pulpit screaming, "Let's kill all the Jews," is not the same as PewDiePie doing a little goof on Fiverr. Context matters. Use your fucking brain, guys.
Now, I needed to show that clip to bring up his next point. I'm sure you are aware of PewDiePie saying the gamer word on the bridge, but then H3H3 put in his take here.
But, god damn, he really kind of just was really comfortable using that word. That really just kind of... Like, you're reaching for all these words, right? And you're like, oh, let me just like a little and bum for you.
These clips alone are already conflicting, but to make this even worse, it was hard to take this claim serious when he has also said this.
Fuck you, nigger faggot.
And that was before the PewDiePie controversy on his iDubbbz podcast. Then the next episode, he addresses controversy from this contradiction that was exposed and then was called out by Keemstar out of all people.
Am I saying that you're being a hypocrite? No, I am not. I am saying that people are mad at you and they're disliking your podcast because they are claiming that you are a hypocrite. I call myself a news source because I report the news, and this is the news. People are calling you a hypocrite.
This is a fucking nearly 40-year-old man who thrives on making videos about Jake Paul.
Oh my god, bro. Dude, this is your channel, dude. Jake Paul, Jake Paul, Jake Paul, Jake Paul, Jake Paul.
Like, according to the internet, you're 32 years old, I'm 35. You're only 3 years younger than me, Ethan.
Your whole channel is making fun of people and criticizing people, and when you're criticized, what do? Blame somebody else.
Basically, you said anybody criticizing you and calling you a hypocrite is a 12-year-old. So you could delegitimize anybody's argument. Oh, they're just little kids. I'm right and they're wrong because they're little kids. And then you try to manipulate even more by saying, the only reason why I'm getting hate is because Scarce and Keemstar. And then you use a Leafy line. Keemstar's just a 40-year-old who makes Jake Paul videos. Apologize. Admit that you're wrong. But you guys won't do that, will you? Because you're better than everyone else. You're never wrong.
So already, right off the bat, he seems like a hypocrite, but another example was a Leafy situation where he rants about Leafy.
If you look at Leafy, he's got straight up like SoFlo level titles. Like, how as a community did we just accept that this was okay? He uses clickbait titles, clickbait thumbnails, it's all sexy girls, and I don't understand these thoughts. How do you even differentiate one video from the other? It's crazy. So here's the video he made about Tommy. Here's a video he made about a little girl who made a music video. Here's making fun of a kid. Here's making fun of a Joey's World Tour who's obviously has an eating disorder. Here's making fun of a kid. Here's making fun of a kid. Kid.
But then to show hypocrisy again, he says Leafy shouldn't bully kids. However...
And he's bringing tracks with a kind of firepower.
Timmy rolls with his mom everywhere. He brings fire tracks and his mom's his biggest fan. He rolls with his mom everywhere.
He was again guilty of this himself. And then he also had a side where he showed he didn't like Pyrocynical when he talked to Leafy in private DMs.
We're not fucking assholes.
Pyro is the real cancer of YouTube. I really just want to see his channel die out. Don't give Pyro a platform to defend himself. Okay, definitely not an asshole, dude. But, you know, Judging from that private message that you sent me literally only a month and a half ago, you know, I think that's only something that an asshole would say, and that's coming from a fucking asshole, dude.
We're not fucking assholes.
I swear to God, I can't even get over that. Not only does the saint of YouTube want this guy's fucking channel to die, but he also wants to leave this guy's channel in a situation where he can't even have a platform to fucking defend himself. I mean, Jesus Christ, someone has been thinking about this a little bit too hard.
We're not fucking assholes.
Oh, and on the him not liking Pyrocynical, here's another thing he has said.
Honestly, it is kind of just turned into bullying. I know we make fun of people, but we do our best to make sure that it's somebody who deserves it or who can take it, you know what I mean? We'd never find someone with 10 views and be like, hey, fuck this kid for trying to follow his passions and live his hobby.
And as you can see, here's a sub difference showing this contradiction. Alright, let's move on to the next part. So, there was an embarrassing moment for JonTron when he had a political opinion and was handling backlash for it. But of course, H3H3 did the logical thing clearly and asked for him to go on a podcast 8 months later after it's died out and tries to bring it up again.
So if you're uncomfortable with anything, like, you don't have to comment at all. Like,
I don't really want to get into this. It's a minefield of sorts. I'm not really going to get into it. But, oh yeah, I guess the main question on everyone's mind is, oh, is he a racist? Is he a Nazi? No, I treat every single person with the same respect they afford me. That's basically my full statement.
okay. I mean, do you feel like you said some things that you regret?
I don't like reliving it. No, I don't.
So after JonTron was badgered, there's also another podcast where there's this fella named Jimmy Lee who just absolutely got disrespected the whole time he was there.
Are you gonna be there the whole time? It's a little hard for me to focus on.
Are you filming?
Are you filming?
We have 3 cameras in
just-
here, Jimmy.
I mean, I
He's
don't mind
B-roll.
the
You don't
the
want-
guy here, but it's hard for me to focus on you when.
Get out, dude.
Oh, can
No,
he
I'm
stay
kidding.
and do stills? Or no?
Not really.
No.
This
Okay,
one
okay.
is gonna-
We'll do the stills
Thanks,
off.
dude.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
Well,
All right. Well, like, it's no secret, like, between us that it can be awkward for people to be around you, right? Like, you know that you elicit that response.
Why do people think that when I'm just a funny guy trying to have fun? Why does that perception happen?
You don't know?
No.
You seem to be very focused on race, like, when you do your bits.
Well, I was a marathon runner, and that's part of that reason.
Yeah, why is...
You said I was focused on race,
Right.
and it's because I was a marathon runner
Right.
when I was younger.
Right.
How'd she get that and you didn't? Race?
Well, I don't know why. I kept
It was bad.
No,
It was bad.
No, it was good. I just kept hearing you say blacks in my mind.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it racist to refer to black people as blacks?
Then he had William Osmond on his channel who had lost his house by catching flames, which I promise is relevant, and he also made a talking hat that was designed for H3H3. But this was the rare case where a YouTuber with less than 1 million subs gets invited to his podcast, and it wasn't even for a full episode. It was only for 20 minutes of the podcast. Also, a nice tidbit, he could have had him here for the full episode, but didn't. They literally did nothing other than just Ethan and Hilda talking, which they even admit the episode was mid-tier.
This is a very mediocre episode.
We're just sitting here.
You know, every time it's like, this is the best episode. No, this is a very mediocre episode.
And of course, just like JonTron, they bring this up with no warning and just make the podcast feel awkward again. Oh yeah, they also spent like 15 minutes of his 20 minutes there to make it about his burning house, then made the last 5 minutes about the beanie, and then just made him leave after this awkward excuse of a conversation.
Interesting. Nice word for tragic one.
I'll show you the fridge. What we got?
That's the fridge.
Oh, where's that?
Fuck.
Oh, there they are.
Oh my god.
Look.
What's the process like of, like, okay, you go to the site, everything's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do?
It's a very lost feeling. It's not a good feeling. It's, imagine everything stripped away. You don't know what you're doing the next day. You don't know what you're doing the next week. You don't know anything. And
What's the thing that you really were depressed about losing that maybe you didn't expect, but
it wasn't having lost something. It was just not being able to sort of jump back into everything as
Yeah.
instantaneously as you do every day.
At least we got this moment from the Bill Burr interview where Ethan gets owned a little bit.
How old's your daughter?
I don't think that is. I think that's you projecting your OCD on me.
It's
you're talking about, you know.
that she said 3 words and she totally communicated like
Right.
That's so
yeah.
cute.
Oh, it seems like you're in love with your daughter, hearing you talk about her on the podcast.
Jesus Christ. Well, you're pretty perceptive. It seems like you care
Well,
about your own
I don't
child.
All right, so let's move on to a more, let's just say, interesting topic. So there's this YouTuber that goes by the name of Gokunaru that made an 1.5-hour video on H3H3 saying a very detailed point-by-point case of how H3H3 is a bad content creator. But after some time of this video being out, it gets deleted. However, it doesn't stop there. So the reason the first upload was deleted was due to the edgy content in 2017 having stricter guidelines. But then Keemstar got involved, so Keemstar started making the accusation that Ethan got the video deleted because he can't handle criticism. And the proof of this was that Ethan recently met up with Susan and also knew Gokunaru's YouTube channel, meaning he saw the video. So then to follow up with Keemstar edits the original video, makes it follow by the new YouTube terms of service, and of course with the consent of Gokunaru uploads it on Drama Alert. But surprise, surprise, that also gets deleted, which fed more fuel into the fire that he deleted this. It got so suspicious that Ethan was forced to respond to this.
Here he posts a picture of us and Susan. So this is the evidence.
Garbage.
Garbage. So we met with Susan. That's true. And apparently also, just to reveal everything.
If you go to...
Here's Gokunaru's video. When he made a video about his video was removed for harassment. And this is also circumstantial evidence, which is damning.
The episode of the podcast where he has Gus Johnson on. In that podcast episode, when he clicks the video tab, you can see that my username is in his history. As in, he typed my username in there, and he knows how to type it, unlike 99% of the people who are only vaguely aware of me. What's even
So the fact that somebody spelled it right is evidence that...
funnier is that podcast was on April 10th, and Susan Watch Kiki released her letter to creators on April 30th.
Watch Kiki?
By doing
Or maybe
a
he's
little bit of
making a joke.
research with help from Bedhead Bernie, we were able to figure out that Susan visited H3 on April 18th, 2019.
Yes, the evidence is definitely... I see where he would draw the conclusion. But I will say that, that no, I'm not responsible for the video being taken down.
Now that was his response. However, looking through this with no bias, I do want to make it fair and keep it factual. I want to point out something weird that even Gokunaru pointed out. For some reason, he has a section where Shoe Nice says that he was the one who had the videos taken down, which was proven false with speculation.
The portion with Shoe Nice right at the end. This entire segment left like a seriously sour taste in my mouth. Essentially, H3 called in Shoe Nice and had him say that he was the one who actually struck down both of my videos.
So it was you. You reported his videos to YouTube and got them removed.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I said, dude, you should have just came and asked me.
Which is just false. The reason he gave being that I showed Shoe Nice's son, which is not his actual son, it's my friend, who we used to say growing up looked like Shoe Nice. The reason that's not true is because the video was taken down for simulated violence, not for like any family issue or whatever. And in the version uploaded to Drama Alert that was censored, it said young Shoe Nice instead of Shoe Nice's son. That leads into another claim that was made by Shoe Nice that he had asked me to remove the skit.
I was just like, dude, can you edit it? But it already blew up.
Wait, so you talked with him?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I didn't know that you asked him to edit out the end. Why did you ask him to do that? I didn't know that you...
I'm sober, bro. Trust me, I'm sober 30 days today.
And what did he say when you asked him to remove it?
Dude, I spent hours on this. I said, dude, I know, but you shouldn't even have put me in the end of the whole thing. It's just the way it all came together.
Which is false. It's just straight up not true. I never had a conversation with Shoe Nice about this. He never reached out to me and asked me to do that. In fact, when the video was released, Shoe Nice had a very positive reception to it, and I interpreted it as his approval. His initial comment was positive.
Then, here are some screenshots to prove that he actually enjoyed the video, further proving that it seemed like a setup for him to say that he took it down. And then to make it a bit weirder, Shoe Nice then had this whole 180 in what he said with this clip right here.
Hey everyone, Shoe Nice again. Well, basically this is a message to H3H3 and gang. That dude was right. You guys are one-way cocksuckers. Either way, happy holidays and don't ever ask me for shit in 2019, you scumbags. Thank ya.
Then the weird thing is that H3H3 took it as immediate fact. Didn't even bother to be a little skeptical. No, just immediate fact.
Shoe Nice asked him to remove that part from the video.
I would have never expected that as a twist.
And then Gokinaru told him to fuck off. So who's being the bully to poor Shoe Nice?
Yeah, that's...
Poor protected Shoe Nice.
Wow.
What?
And just in case for some reason you still believe Shoe Nice was the one who reported it, here are literally 2 tweets that they have posted saying that they have not reported it. I also find the podcast Ethan had as odd because he advertised it as he was going to react to the full video. However, he decided to skip Chapter 7, which criticizes repetitive jokes and used backhand compliments to undermine people, and skip Chapter 8, which was a segment that talked about him spreading misinformation. Now with that, we can wrap up that situation and move on to the recent stuff. So it's not uncommon for a comedian to find themselves in controversy for saying what they find to be funny jokes. Whether it is about saying James Charles is a bottom.
That's an option. Power bottom.
So wouldn't that mean that the diapers aren't for him, though?
No, if he's on the bottom, he's getting railed.
Making jokes about a shooting at a Walmart.
If there was a shooting at Walmart, and then
Got it!
Wait, stop!
There was a shooting at Walmart. This is very insensitive. Stop making this joke.
And
There's
then
literally a shooting at Walmart today.
Don't finish it when it's cutting out.
Let me finish. And then they showed me that video and said this is what they were doing the day before. I'd be like, that's horrible, but I get it.
Or more recently, making an anti-Semitic joke about Ben Shapiro. Now, if you don't know Ben Shapiro, I would probably keep it that way, but all you need to know for context is that he's a controversial right-wing figure that happens to be Jewish like Ethan. And Ethan makes a very wild comment about Ben, which whether you like him or hate him, this comment was a bit much.
Culminated in him suggesting that if there's another Holocaust, I should be the first to go, which last I checked is the sort of thing that gets you kicked off of YouTube if you are a right-winger, but apparently he's a big left-winger, so that's totally fine. Here is Ethan Klein being a delightful human being.
I was just going to say, if there's another Holocaust, if they start rounding up the Jews again, I hope Ben gets gassed first.
Well, that's nice.
This led to him being canceled and even receiving a strike on his podcast. He has definitely changed and is no longer the funny, wholesome channel he once was. You can grow, that's fine, but now he made it his new mission to be political and fight every right-winger that breathes, but the point is now he's extremely political, which makes me find this clip funnier.
I'm just a YouTuber. How does that qualify me to tell you who to vote for? Who to fucking elect as president? I literally go to the grocery stores with 200 shirts on, and you're looking to me for advice on who to vote for president? Yeah, there are got to be better people out here to advise you on that.
Now, there was also this other controversy where Ethan impersonated Elon under a parody account, however, it got banned on Twitter. Let's just show some interesting things he decided to say as Elon Musk. Now we got those unhinged tweets out of the way, here is a funny thing to mention. Believe it or not, Twitter still has rules and he did break the terms of service. Now before there's those people that says, it says parody account in the bio. Yes, you're right. It does say it in the bio. You know where it doesn't say it? That's right. In the name, breaking the rules that were making Ethan in the wrong in this situation, and he decided to complain about facing the rules like anybody else with this tweet. Comedy is dead on Twitter, and Elon Musk killed it. So no surprise that he was wrong for this situation, but that I believe wraps up everything that was important to address. Alright, if you have any requests, just leave them down in the comments. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, AceHoller180 signing out.